Hey guys, Sci-Fi Guy 2094 here. Today I have a really good film to review. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free because there's just so much to talk about. So, this is a 2024 film called Restore Point. It's set in Europe, and basically, because of social inequality, there is a there's basically a disparity between, rich and poor, and the haves and the have-nots. We kind of see how in these futuristic films, these big corporations kind of run everything. It's almost like there's no separation between these private companies and the government. And that's kind of a main plot point to this film, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. But so it's the year 2041. This is set in Europe, and it's now a constitutional right that because of crime and how many killings there are, if you're killed, if you die by unnatural causes, so you're killed, you're shot, you're stabbed, you're beaten to death, you have a constitutional right to be brought back to life in a process called Restore Point. So basically, you can back your memory and your consciousness up every 2 days, and as long as that is in the system, there's this company that has all these files for people's consciousness. As long as you back that up every 2 days, then when you're brought back to life after you die, you'll have all your personality and all your consciousness and all your memories. So this leads our detective, her name is M, I believe, and she comes across this case where a husband and wife are murdered. And it turns out, we find out that the husband actually worked for the company who provides the backup system, the discs that you kind of put in your brain to back up your personality and your memories. So she's basically tasked with hunting down, well, finding the person who murdered this husband and wife. And actually, we can see that one of them can be brought back to life, but the other one is not backed up and can't be brought back to life. So I don't want to spoil that one right now, but one of them is brought back to life, and then she works with this person to try to solve their own murder. So it's pretty interesting. She is basically led through her detective work, because she's a police officer, to this terrorist organization who has been causing so much trouble. They kind of show a few clips in the beginning where they blew up like a bus or something. They're just a very terrible group that has caused so much terror and death. It's she's made it her mission to find this person, bring them to justice. And just for not only for the husband and wife on the case that she's working, but also he's linked to a terrorist organization who has killed hundreds of people. So this is a detective film through and through. I gotta say, the story is there. The story is definitely there. If you think like Blade Runner 2049, which is an amazing film, you just gotta think, okay, this is very similar to that film in a way. As far as the detective aspect, I guess you could consider this, I don't really use the term cyberpunk, but you could consider it a cyberpunk movie, I guess. So yeah, the story's really good, a lot of detective work, a lot of intriguing concepts going on here. I really like how the story progresses, because you also have this element of, she's kind of like a local police officer, but then you have the feds getting involved because, there's terrorism involved, so the feds have to come in. So there's kind of a little bit of a clash between, just the local police who are trying to solve a murder case, but then you have the feds overseeing it because it's linked to terrorism. So you have that aspect of it. I really like the aesthetics, the buildings, the futuristic setting. It's pretty cool. It's really cool to see. I really enjoy this film. Love the detective work, the story, the plot, the way everything weaves together. It's not super easy to follow. I shouldn't say that. It's relatively easy to follow, but you definitely want to pay close attention, because like I said, it's a detective film through and through, and you got to pay really close attention to this stuff. The acting's good. There is action. There's a fair good amount of action, especially hand-to-hand combat. Um, it's not like a huge, action film through and through. There is good action, but that's not what it focuses on. It's more about the detective work and unraveling the plot that's going on with this guy who's linked to these terrorist organizations, these terrorist attacks. So I really like this film. That's really all I want to say about it, because I don't want to spoil anything about this film. It is just so fantastic. Um, Watch Restore Point, watch Restore Point, watch Restore Point. That's all I can really tell you guys. For you guys that like sci-fi, for you guys that like indie films, it's an amazing film. I watched it last night. I would give this film a good solid 9 out of 10. That seems a little high, but honestly, once you guys watch this film, I think you'll understand why I give it a 9 out of 10. So check out Restore Point.